What's up, guys? I'm Brad Prose. Welcome to Chilies and Smoke, and today I'm in the kitchen. I'm going to show you how to make delicious Mexican red adobo. I've got some secrets to make it really easy for you, and this is the base for delicious barbacoa, birria, chorizo. I'm going to show you how to make all of those using this base, so you don't want to miss it. Go ahead and click subscribe or follow along on the channel. You're going to want to see how to make this dish. Stay tuned, let's go. So let's talk about Mexican red adobo. Today we're gonna make it. I'm gonna show you some really easy steps to do it. Hopefully it's a little bit of a shortcut for you. And what this is it's this thick marinade and paste. It's basically this concentrate of chilies that have been hydrated, lots of different Mexican spices. Like I said before, you can use it for so many different things. So we're gonna start with the base today. I'll show you some tricks on how you can customize it for your preferences. And then at the very end, we're gonna get ready to make some chorizo using this adobo right here. Can you tell I'm excited? All right, so the first step is to prep the garlic because it takes a little bit. Heat up a little skillet, take 10 cloves of garlic, throw them in the dry skillet once it's on medium heat, and let those toast. Now the important thing is you actually want to leave the shells on the cloves of garlic because they're going to steam from the inside and the skins protect the garlic cloves while they're roasting. It'll actually mellow out the garlic flavor and give it more of that roasty, savory feeling. So go ahead and get that started. Okay, the next step, let's talk about chiles. So there's a lot of different kind of Mexican chiles. I always have a lot on hand. This is Ancho and this is Guajillo, and I'll talk to you about the differences briefly. And this is important because you're gonna wanna know how to customize it for yourself. Typically, when you make adobo or cook with any of these chilies, what you do is you use these whole chilies and you'll toast them on a pan lightly, just like the skillet we heated up. And then what you do is pour boiling water over them. It hydrates them, makes them soft, pliable, and then you'd end up blending them in with the other spices. That's a lot of work. Not everybody has access to these chilies, so I'm gonna show you a trick on how you can do it with chili powder and get the same results. Now, when making red adobo, the main ingredient is ancho chili. This is a dried chili. It smells almost like smoky raisins. It's actually quite sweet. It's not very spicy. And most recipes will actually call for only ancho chili, which is great in most barbecue. Now, I'm gonna show you how you can modify the ratio of chilies, and I'll teach you 3 different kinds so that you can kind of customize it to yourself. Of course, I'll tell you how I like mine. So this is a Guajillo chili, and this is gonna have a lot more heat than the Ancho chili. This actually has some spiciness to it. Still has some great fruity flavors, but I'm gonna be adding this and then some chipotle to make sure that we amp up the adobo because I like it spicy. And if you don't, just use Ancho chilies and it will be fine. So I keep talking about this secret to make it easy. I've already mentioned it, it's chili powder. Now, I'm using a strategy that I saw Rick Bayless use years ago, and I've been using it since, but customizing it for my own flavor profiles too. And I want to talk a little bit more about that in depth. As you can see, I've got 3 different chili powders here. I've got the Ancho chili, which is the base. I've got Guajillo chili powder, and then I've also got chipotle. So the chipotle is the one we didn't really talk about. That's gonna add a little bit more heat, but also some smokiness. And since we're all about barbecue, I really like to add here. Now the way to customize this is easy. You only need 1/2 cup of chili powder. So you pick on how you wanna do it. Now what I would recommend is if you're gonna be like me and add more heat, at least do 1/4 cup of Ancho because it is a really good fruity base for all the other recipes that we're gonna make. So I'm gonna do 1/4 cup Ancho, and then I'm gonna mix Guajillo and chipotle, and that's all that we need. All right, so I'm gonna get out the blender. We're gonna go ahead and put the chipotle powder, the Guajillo, and the Ancho chili right inside. And then I'm gonna take some boiling water and pour it over here to steep it. And this is 1.25 cups of boiling water. We're gonna let that hang out for about 5 to 10 minutes. While we're waiting on that, let's talk about the other ingredients that goes into the adobo. I've got a little bit of cumin. Measurements are in the description below. Here's those roasted garlic cloves. So I'll have to peel these and then add them in here. We've got some fresh ground black pepper. And then we've got Mexican cinnamon. And this is important. It's actually canela, which is a different kind of cinnamon. It's almost sweeter. It's not as harsh. So this is definitely something that you'll want to pick up, and they do sell it pre-ground, or if you want to go the extra mile, you can toast it and grind it yourself. That's actually what I did. The last ingredient is Mexican oregano. Now this also, same thing, it's a little sweeter. It's not as pungent with the herb flavor, but it's just got that nice earthy herbal flavor to tie everything together. It's commonly used in every recipe. You'll definitely want to make sure it's Mexican oregano. All right, so let's put this together. We've got the cinnamon, we've got the black pepper, we've got the cumin, here is the roasted garlic, and then we've got some of that Mexican oregano, a teaspoon here. We've got 3 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. And a note on that, as I grab the salt, you can use white vinegar, but if you want that more tangy flavor, use some apple cider vinegar and just a little bit of salt. Now you'll want to adjust this afterwards. I use about 1/2 teaspoon, but taste it and salt it at the end. Have it ready for you. All right, let's check it. Ooh, very strong. You can see right here, thick paste. This is exactly what you want. It should not be watery if you use those exact measurements. This is all chili powders instead of those fresh chilies. Now go ahead and taste it and see if it needs more salt. Mine's actually pretty spot on, but that's because I've been making it for years. And that's it. We've got this awesome adobo. It'll last a long time in the fridge or the freezer, but I'm going to be using it up pretty quickly. Stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss next video where I make this into chorizo. Now please check out the full recipe in the link below. It shows you how to make a mild, medium, and hot version of this using the different ratios. It's really important. Cheers.